Morning, everyone.
Morning, Dan. Okay, we are at the top of the hour. Good morning. I'm going to do a little
conference
there.
Muted.
Okay, and then Deborah, let me unlock your line. There we go. Make sure that I can hear you. Hello, Deborah. Are you there?
Yes, I am. How are you?
Okay, let me turn. Okay, we are good. Good morning, Bill and Robert and everyone else. This is Joe Shoop. Welcome to the Breakfast Club. This particular club exists and has for over, probably close to 15 years now, and totally dedicated to KB Gold. And we are here basically because entrepreneurs came together to discuss money-making strategies, and what better way to discuss it than to discuss gold. So, Joe Norman, let's go right to you for some updates and some exciting news, and we'll go there.
Well, the exciting news is since the demo packs came on board, we're seeing just record sales. I was just sharing earlier, numbers were up. Sales, company-wide sales were up last cycle, 40%. This cycle, they're up over 100% or have doubled month over month. And I think a lot of that has to do with not only the demo packs, but more and more people are taking advantage of the promotion where if you do 500 or more euros in your monthly purchase plan or upgrade your purchase plan to that for just 1 month, you get an automatic upgrade to Bronze Supervisor. More and more people are doing that, and it's just causing a surge of sales. And guys, that's what it's all about. And as we get more and more people in our organizations taking advantage of what's happening in the gold market, just in the last 3 days, I posted in Facebook yesterday and in the chat rooms, our gold accounts have went up 4% in the last 3 days. I mean, where else are you going to get a 4% return in 3 days, guys? And so, if you have gold accounts, if you have monthly purchase plans and gold and storage with KB, or you've taken delivery, congratulations, you're making money. And if you have not, each day that you wait, you're losing potential profits that you could be making. So our analysts are telling us that we can expect much, much higher prices by the end of the year. So, unless you're allergic to making money, where else can you get registered with a company and all you have to do to make money is buy their product and keep it? Are you kidding me? Just a tremendous opportunity. So those are the announcements. Oh, also, we're working on getting some things available, mainly for us old school people. And I say old school, I'm 55 years old, and I have always used and believed in a sales book. In other words, I call them a flip book, something that you can sit down with a prospect and show them the pictures, and on the back you'll be able to read what to say. It's all going to be written out, and we're just in the home stretch of having that completed and available, and I think that will really help, especially brand new people, because someone that maybe doesn't have the greatest people skills, or someone's brand new and they don't know anything, it'll allow everyone to give a perfect presentation every time, and it'll level the playing field. Tools are duplicatable. Personalities are not. So that is happening, and that will be finished and completed very soon. Back to you, Joe.
Okay, very cool. Boomer, how are you?
Another wonderful day in life.
All right. Any updates from you?
Just shaking the tree, preparing for the tour. Anxious to hear what Deborah has to say today and learn from her. She's an expert in her field. And we also have many new avenues happening in social media, so I encourage everybody to do what you need to do to get to the tour and prepare for that and bring new guests.
All righty. Well, let's go over to Deborah. Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm great.
Okay, I'm having a little hard time hearing you. I don't know if anybody else is, but...
How is it now? Better?
Yeah, much better. Thanks.
Better. Okay.
Okay, so just so you know, yes, I did go look at your husband's work.
Oh, good.
Excellent. I did. It's great. I had a ball the other day. That's amazing. I'm impressed. Very impressed.
Yeah.
Deborah's husband is a famous artist, actually, and it's pretty cool. All right, Miss Deborah, we talked about this the other day, and you offered your services to to teach people what LinkedIn was all about and how to actually find prospects on there, whether customers or looking for partners, associates. And I'm just going to turn it over to you. We'll sit back and listen to this class here from you, and we'll be good to go. And let me know when we need to end it.
Great. My thought in the beginning is after I do this, if anyone has other questions, they can call me, and that way I can sort of answer their questions one-on-one instead of, doing it in a group. I think that might help people.
We'll still get them to rate. What they can do is they can contact Joe and go that way as opposed to giving your number out here. We'll let them contact Joe Norman. They can Skype him and tell him, hey, I need Deborah, and we can make that connection. Number 2 is if you have any questions here, 5-star on your telephone keypad. We can't spend a lot of time with 50 questions here, but we definitely could get a few people if you raise your hand first. I can't really say that because I can't tell which one pops up first. But if you want to raise your hand and ask some questions during this, we'll get to you at the end, 5-star, and see if we can answer at least some of them. So, okay.
And my thought is LinkedIn is a big global fishing pool. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of groups, thousands and thousands of people involved. And I'm going to give you the basics of how to grow a group. You basically get on, you do your profile is very important. You fill out all your profile. It usually gives you a gauge on, if you're 80% done with your profile, 90%. Try to fill it up to 100% because it's important. Also, the other aspect of this is joining groups. Now, you can go into the group section, and basically it says group directory. You go in there, and there's a search group, and you can basically put in the category, keywords, languages. You can kind of pick and choose what you're looking for. You can do it in a business aspect, in a hobby aspect, however you choose to do it. This morning I decided to join a tennis group, and there are 5,000 people involved. That's pretty cool. So most of the time I join business groups, but I decided to sway from that a bit. And with these groups, you can join 50 of them at a time, which is a good aspect to this. And you can, go in and out of the groups as you choose. If you decide that the group that you're in doesn't really benefit you, you can kind of switch to another group. And I do that periodically. I switch in and out of groups. This is what I do personally. So, everyone else has their own way of using this, but this is how I use it. And in these groups, it usually basically tells you how many members, before you even join. It tells you at the very bottom of there's a little introduction about the group. And at the very bottom, it tells you how many people are involved in that group. And I tend to look for groups that have lots of members. I would rather have a bigger fishing pool for myself, but that's what I do. And basically, after you join that group, a lot of times, not a lot of times, but some of the time, when you join the group, you have to be accepted into the group, and that usually sometimes takes a day, but most of the time they accept you immediately. And when they accept you, you basically get into the group, and you can see the profile. You can basically see all the members. And what I do, I go to the members list, and I'm going there right now to sort of guide you through this. I go to the members list, and I look at all the members, and here I connect with the members that have a big following. I know that, I don't know if most people do that, but that's what I do. I basically look for the members with a big following, and when you're a member of the group, you can invite these people to become first connections with you. And this is the easiest way to build a group of people. You can build a group. You take basically 15 minutes of your day to do this, and in a week or so you have hundreds of people in your group. Most people do accept you to connect. There are some people that don't, but the majority of the people do accept. And basically, when you go into the group and you look and you're searching for the people that you want to contact to connect to, it'll say on the corner, on the right-hand corner, I'm looking, hang on one sec so I give this accurate information. On the right-hand corner of the person, it'll say invite to connect, and you just basically push on that, press on that, put your cursor there, and it basically asks you, how do you know this person? And most of the time you don't know them, but they're a member of your group. So you go to groups, and you press on groups, and it gives you a choice of what group you want to say that you're connected together. And it really doesn't matter, you just pick a group. And then you send an invitation to them. So this is how I have basically, my connections are over 2,000. And I haven't worked this lately, but in the very beginning last year, I did it probably, 10 to 15 minutes a day. And I got up to about 2,000. And then your total group grows into the hundreds of thousands. First and second and third degree, in your groups. That's how it grows as you get your first degrees. Also, you can post jobs in each group if you choose to. You can start your own group, which is very easy to do. You can send messages to your group 50 at a time, and you can basically customize that message for your group. What else do we have here? That's really the basics of it, to basically grow your group, and first connections. And this doesn't cost anything to do this. I haven't ever paid for using LinkedIn. There is a process where you can pay and upgrade, but I haven't done that. I don't think there's a need to do that unless you want to. And it's pretty easy to grow a group without paying.
Dan, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Good. I thought maybe you could have a conversation with Deborah, and let me look first of all and see if we have any questions here. 5-star on your telephone keypad, and I know, Dan, you're pretty much involved in networks and social networks and things. Anything that you want to ask or add, or?
Well, I'm not truly familiar with LinkedIn, and that's why I'm particularly interested in how you engage people, et cetera, Deborah, which is this has been insightful. Social media is absolutely a phenomenal way to engage an entire new facet of personal relationships and business introductions. I mean, you don't have to go anywhere. You can do it from the comfort of your own home in your pajamas. It's the way I like to put it, it's safe mingling in a mixer in your pajamas, and you don't have to worry about how your hair looks.
Exactly.
Right, but it is a very it's an interesting phenomenon because it's a voluntary, like holding a cookie out on a plate, and there is an etiquette and a protocol as to how it's done, especially on Facebook. I mean, Facebook, 800 million users and growing. People all over the world looking for international revenue generation, whether they're in, the Serengeti or with an internet connection somewhere, or they're in, Delhi, or the Queensland in Australia. So people all over the world, they're looking, man. Right now, the world's fiat paper money has been in a tremendous amount of turmoil, and if you get good and learn how to do this, you're not limited by any list that you have, that you personally know. Engage and meet some new people, and we've got some programs that you can utilize or be taught from. I show people some simple ways that I do stuff on Facebook in terms of meeting, inviting, and going into other people's circles and seeing who responds in a very open fashion. And don't try and pitch your business right off the bat. Let's see who responds and create a relationship with, and then the conversation always turns around to what do you do in a very open fashion in that respect. So, Deborah, thank you very much for the LinkedIn preface. I'd love to engage more in how that is all worked in finer detail, and we'll be speaking.
You're welcome. That is the basics of how to use LinkedIn, is join the groups, connect with the members in your groups. You can do that, because you belong to that group, so you have access to all the members. And that's the easiest way to grow your connections, the easiest, because people, see that you're a part of their group and they accept you as a contact. And that is the easiest way to do it. And you can, 50 groups at a time, which is a lot. And there are thousands and thousands of groups out there. I couldn't even name, I don't even know how many there are, but there's many, many.
Absolutely.
Let me look.
Well, guys, here's a typical example of how we may overlook social media. Pepsi-Cola removed all their commercials from the Super Bowl, the most sought-after TV advertising airtime there is, and is dumping it all into social media. You want to know why? Ask Coca-Cola. Okay? Anyway, you guys, thanks, Deborah. Appreciate that.
Yeah, Deborah, this is great. And now, are there any questions here from anybody before we go back to Dr. Denis or over to Joe here to questions? 5-star, telephone keypad, real quick. 5-star, don't see anybody. Going, and we'll give you 5 seconds. 5-star, going, gone. That's 3 seconds. Dr. Denis, are you there?
Bill Peters has a question, Joe.
Okay, I don't see that on here. There we go. Bill Peters, let me unlock your line, and you're ready to go, Bill. How you doing?
Good, Joe. Thanks. Good morning, Joe. Joe and Dan. Just a couple of things about social media, if I might. LinkedIn, of course, is more business than Facebook. But on all of these, and including Twitter, don't go out there and slam them with all business stuff, post after post after post. As Dan was saying, this is social media. You want to get to know people. They want to know that you're a genuine person and that you may have interest in other people, especially on Facebook and especially on Twitter. The other thing is that there are many of us, the ultimate goal for all of the social media options is to develop a mailing list, an emailing list, so that we can either send out a newsletter or send out announcements or go to these people with business opportunities or opportunities to protect their assets as we do. And in that realm, we have to be very careful of a thing called spam. That's why it's important. LinkedIn is important. When you connect with someone on LinkedIn, you actually are gaining their permission to contact them, and it becomes a situation where it cannot be spam. In other words, they have given you the permission to contact them because they've approved it through LinkedIn. There are many of us that develop our mailing lists with MailChimp or Constant Contact or people like that allow us to do a double opt-in on our mailing list. In other words, we contact somebody, please join our mailing list. They say, yes, you want to be on the mailing list. You send them a confirmation, and then they confirm that they want to be on the mailing list. This keeps you way away from spam. And the reason you want to stay away from spam is because if it goes as far as you're convicted of spamming, it's 10 grand fine for each email. So those are some things to think about. I don't want to scare you away from contacting people with email lists. Just do a little research and do it in a nice, friendly business type way. That's it, guys.
That's great.
That's great. Let me give you a quick piece here. Let me kind of give you a quick, like 2 or 3 minute overview on how social media all pieces together. This is how it works. There's primarily 4 major hubs that the masses use. Now, there's other ones, but primarily there's 4 hubs. There's Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. This is how they all kind of piece together. Facebook is a personal page for building friendships, friends, and referring friends. LinkedIn is for connecting with other professionals, creating a business-to-business relationship, and businesses refer other businesses that know, like, and trust you. Okay? Now, Twitter. This is like your own newspaper advertising where you share links to your videos, your Facebook, your LinkedIn as a posting. They're less than 100, they're 140 character max, which means it's a revolving billboard being sent out. Okay? Now, YouTube. That's like having your own personal TV channel. You can create your own TV show about your business. Business people love to watch TV and share your videos with others. That's kind of how it pieces in. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And there's ways that you can learn in a 90-day fashion how to connect all those together, and it's like planting a seed in the ground and growing a plant that bears fruit. Okay, it's not overnight, but there's ways that you can generate that that result. So that's kind of how it all pieces together. And you know what? For basically most of that is fairly non-cost overhead. Let me put it that way. So you can there's ways that you can generate that in a fashion. Knowing that information is a whole other animal, though. So I will be doing some other introductions on how that all pieces together in the future. Right now, our main focus is the transition here towards the tour, etc. And we're all of us are looking forward to meeting all of you that come to the tour in as many cities. Pack a car, come to the event. You're going to, I tell you what, man, it's going to set your world and your belief on fire. So make sure you get to the events, guys.
Joe Norman, or Dr. Dennis, are you there? Didn't know if you were had a comment there, Dennis. We don't know where Dr. D is at the moment, but all right. Joe Norman, I'm going to set this over to you to give a final close here and some direction here. But Deborah, before I go, thank you so much. People obviously got a lot out of this, and it's really important. Look, we all know, without new people, without sales, without contacting new people, if you want to create a system or you want to be successful, you have to create or be part of a system whereby recruiting never stops. That's another way, and obviously social media is the way. It's amazing that you said that about Coke, Dan. It's pretty crazy, but it's the way it is. But anyway, Deborah, thank you so much. Do you have any closing comments?
Yes, I do have a closing comment. On LinkedIn, how I basically use the tool, is I don't send out tons of emails. People don't look at them too often because we're all bombarded with so many. I connect on a first degree, and usually there's a phone number, and that's how I use LinkedIn. I connect with them, get a relationship with them, introduce them to my business. That's how I use LinkedIn. So I'm not out spamming anyone. You can't do that. So you have to kind of get comfortable with using the phone, and it works well.
Very good. I agree with you, and people need to know how to do that, and it's one of the things that scares people. But, if you keep listening and hearing, Deborah's not afraid to pick up the phone and talk to people, and the only reason people get afraid of things is they're not educated enough. They don't have enough confidence because they don't have the right answers. That's really what happens in all things that people get afraid of. It's just knowledge, and so, Deborah, thanks. I appreciate it, and I hope people grabbed onto that and are able to, to head in that direction and have another tool to find people for, their network. So, Joe Norman, over to you, buddy. We'll let you close here.
Joe, this is Dennis. I was muted for some reason. I couldn't get off mute. Just before Joe closed this up, on Tuesday, I asked Joe to help me as if I was a new person, a novice, because one of my people, and I read on email specifically, was in Ghana. He's an attorney from Washington, D.C., but was in Ghana, part of what he does is a gold purchaser. And I asked, okay, what would you write? And it led me in a direction to create an email. Part of it was this new certification, and this has made a big impact, and people need to know that. So I created an email just because, I'll just very short. So if it's okay, I'd like to read this so you can see where this went to follow.
Yeah, I was hoping that you were going to bring this up. So yeah, please do.
Okay. So here. So I adjusted to this gentleman, Steve. I said, Steve, my friend, I'll leave this last name out. My friend Lou asked me to send you some information about KB Vision/Gold. I'll be happy to answer any questions when you get back to the U.S., but here's some information in the meantime. The KB Vision Gold project is unique. They are marketing carat bar quality gold, in parentheses, I said, see the reference websites enclosed, in small weights, in parentheses, half gram, 1 gram, 2.5, and 5 gram, that can be used as international currency. These bullion are LBMA certified /assayed and are heat sealed in an attractive holographically registered card. This is overseen and certified by the Swiss government. Their main product is the 1 gram card. There is also a lucrative referral reward program attached, and even with this, they have the best price in the world for this type of transaction-friendly, high-quality, low-weight gold bullion. They even beat the UBS 1 gram price on a daily basis. Please look over these websites and contact me with questions, and I gave him Lou's KB-Vision website and mykbgold.us. Sincerely, Dr. Dennis Steigerwald.
That is great. That's great, Dennis.
So Joe, thanks for helping, and I hope everybody who was on Tuesday gets the process. What I did is I asked someone who knows more than me to give me some direction in creating an email I could send to someone in Ghana who's an attorney in the United States who's actively involved in the purchasing of gold, who demanded that any gold he would think about buying would have to be smelted and assayed. And so instead of fighting that, I just laid this out based on what Joe told me last Tuesday. So it's something anybody can do. Hey, if I can do it, anybody can do it, because I don't know anything about gold, or I didn't when I started anyway. So thanks, Joe.
Cool.
Great. Jenny, the listeners here, everybody we meet and share ideas with has something to give a value to you and that you can pick up if you pay attention. I want to say I've been blessed to have some personal contact and calls with Dr. Denis and Joe Shoop and Joe Norman, because they have been instrumental in fine-tuning a lot of stuff that I have done that I didn't quite understand. So the more you show up at these calls, the more you're going to absorb, process, and fine-tune for yourself. There is a tremendous amount of years of experience that are on these calls here as we bring on even other guest speakers, man. It's staggering to think about if you take in the information and apply. Remember, you never get paid for what you know. You only get paid for what you do with what you know. So go out there and apply some of the knowledge that you hear here. And with every time you pitch the ball, you're going to get a new realm of experience if you process that. And I want to thank everybody on this panel for their input. You've helped me tremendously.
Joe Norman, we'll have you say goodbye to everybody, and thanks for being here, everybody, and over to you, Joe.
Well, in closing, I think what we heard today was another example of the elephant and the blind man. You know, Deborah's using LinkedIn. That might be, the tusk. Some people see and grab a hold of the ear. Some, this is an elephant moving forward. This is a monstrosity opportunity that has something in it for just about everybody that's breathing air on this planet, that has, I say, enough financial intelligence to blow the fuzz off a peanut. Some people see this as an opportunity to go after affiliates. Some people see this as an opportunity to go after just customers, just like Dr. Dennis just described. Dr. Dennis knows this, and I hope you don't mind me saying, Dr. Dennis and I are working with someone in his organization that is in the process, as we speak, placing a $100,000 order. They're not interested in the business. They're interested in the product being safe haven. They're interested in the fact, I just pulled up the numbers. Today, gold's up 0.3%, $6.37. For the month, 8.21%. That's 30 days. 8%, 30 days, guys. Come on, are you kidding me? 6 months, 14, almost 15%. 1 year, 28, almost 29% in the last 12 months. That's why they're putting their money where their mouth is. That's why and you know what? There are no shortage of people out there that are just like that couple is, that see an opportunity to protect what they've worked so hard to accumulate. They see a different section of the elephant that they're holding on to. But the key is you have to have what I call an aha moment, where all this information that you hear every Tuesday and Thursday and every Monday on the conference call and Wednesday evenings and all the other things that are going on, you have to have what I call an aha moment, where it goes from your head to your heart. This is the biggest reason why we are almost pleading with people to get up, step up, and get yourself to one of these live events. I can promise you, you will have an aha moment if you will get to these live events. You will hear from the president and CEO. And yes, he will talk about KB Vision past, and it wasn't easy. Present, where it's getting easier every day, and future, where it will literally be a license to print money. Get to the live events and also continue to attend these conference calls, webinars, because it gives you an opportunity to have what I call that aha moment, that turning point. Because let me just tell you one more thing before I wrap up the call about communication. This is a law of communication. And as we say all the time on the Breakfast Club, you can't control the results, only the activity. But listen to this. The message that you're trying to get through to a prospect, and this is one of the reasons why emails are limited in their effectiveness. The message must be in your heart and in your head. if the message comes from your head or from your intellect, it will only appeal to the intellect. If the message comes from your heart, it will appeal to their heart. I'm telling you because I know. This became a part of my heart about a year ago. Basically, after Steve Kelly got back from touring the home offices in Stuttgart of KB Edelmetall, in Munich of KB Edelmetall, and in Stuttgart of KB Vision, and then they took him down to Turkey to eyewitness the mines, the refinery, and the mint. And of course, speaking with him as we did through that whole process, and then when he got back, I interviewed him. And by the way, if you haven't heard that interview, you need to. That's all recorded at mykbgold.us under the recorded calls page. You'll see Steve Kelly interview, and it is compelling. That's where we learned about all these other companies they own. That's where we learned about their proprietary patent pending technology of extraction and just all the other stuff. That's where we learned all that. And that's what got us across the bridge of belief. And that, for me, and I think for Boomer and Dr. Denis and a lot of us early enrollees, that's what drug us all across the bridge of belief. And that point is when it went into our hearts. And once it's in your heart, it sure is a lot easier to build a business because people see it. They feel it, as well as hear it and see it. So whatever it takes, step up, show up, get yourself to the live events, continue to get yourself positioned, whether it be conference calls, webinars, live video broadcasts. Just continue to take it in, because I'm telling you, there will come a time where you, too, will have an aha moment, and that'll be a turning point for not only your business, but for the people that you come into contact with. It will be certainly a lot easier to penetrate their armor, because when they're just hearing with their intellect, everyone has that wall of resistance. But that, when it's coming from your heart, it just knocks that wall right down. So that's what I want to close with, some encouraging words there. And you guys all have a fantastic day. 3 o'clock, John L. Fears, Boomer, that URL, I can never remember it. KB Vision
KBGoldEvents.com.
KBGoldEvents.com. You don't have to pre-register or anything else. It starts in about 3 hours and 15 minutes from right now. 3 hours and 15 minutes from right now. And I think Cheryl Ann Gober is going to be the guest today, and I think I'll be on there as well. So you guys all have a fantastic day. Anything you need, want, or we can help you with, just give us a call, shoot us a Skype or an email. You guys all have a great and outstanding day.
Have a good day, Joe. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you, Joe.
Take care now.